right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a little peek at our today's topic video for the 5th of January. Man, I cannot believe how swiftly our days seem to be passing. We have a Two of Wands sideways. We have an Ace of Cups upright. And we have the Judgment card sideways. We start with some indecisive energy, even though there's love here for sure, right? Huge, huge cup of love. But then the question mark of which route do I want to take, though? Would I want there to be a do-over? Would I want there to be reconciliation? This could be somebody who's saying, honestly, I think I've learned to love myself so well that maybe that's why I could totally forgive someone and have a do-over. But do I really want to do that when I've kind of course corrected things and I'm feeling full and I'm feeling whole right now? Honestly, I shouldn't give my opinion, but I'm just thinking, like, why do you need to bring anything else in when you've found, that sense of peace? Maybe this is the time we see this dove like ready to fly free. Maybe it's not about having to do any more forgiveness. It's just like, I am complete. The storyline has wrapped up. Hi, guys. Nice to see everyone. We have a Page of Cups upright. I would interpret this almost like if somebody wants to say sorry to me, do I really need to hear it? Because she's kind of like pulling back, like, oh gosh, why does she think somebody now of all times might want to offer her an apology? Seven of Wands. She doesn't know if they do. It's more like how much you want to bet that at this point, I've healed everything that I needed to. I've learned to love myself. There's a lot of things that have already occurred. It's water under the bridge. How much you want to bet now's the time somebody will try to show up and, patch things up with me, try to, get beyond the obstacles. She may sense that somebody has been like waiting for a moment to approach her. We see this, kind of like Roman warrior up at the top, of the mountain overlooking, and it's got this very gladiator type energy, like I would fight for this. Now, if only we could, get through the obstacles and find a solution. But I almost think she's saying, what if I've already found this solution and the solution is I'm free of this and I'm okay and I've already healed. She had a Three of Swords over this. I really think that we have a divine feminine who's maybe just playing it out in her mind right now. And I only say feminine because that's who we've got on the card. Bear in mind, this could be masculine just as easily. But let's just say that there's a character who has had, admittedly, a very broken heart. And yet they've reached this point where I don't feel the need to have any more interaction. I think I healed enough. I don't need them to say sorry to me. I'm actually free of this. I would say then be done. Just let yourself move on. She says, well, Nine of Wands. I'm, 99.999% done. Ace of Swords in the reverse, but there's something that I haven't let go of. There's something that still bonds me. Maybe she just hasn't, officially cut that energetic cord. Let me ask, let's turn to the universe for just a second. We'll pick this deck for the universe. Universe, what would you have to say to her if she is just realizing, I don't think I need anything from the person who hurt me. I think I'm healed, but I still feel like something is incomplete. Universe, you want to weigh in? Death card. Maybe she simply hasn't turned her back and transformed from this. This could be leftover stuff from last year. Technically, we are still in Year of the Snake until we go into the Year of the Fire Horse, which comes up, in February. So maybe this is just the reason it feels incomplete is because even though we're in 2026, so we have had a new year, a new beginning, we still see this big old serpent here. And this is a rattlesnake. But she's got butterfly wings on. The universe is simply saying, darling, you are, let's use like moving out of a house as an example, because anyone who's ever moved, that You know when your final date is. You've packed up all your stuff. You maybe even have moved the majority of your stuff, but you know you're still not officially moved out until you're done cleaning the place. And that could take a lot of hours. Or you have, you know, 3 carloads of like little tiny incidentals that didn't really fit in a box. And you're like, wow, I thought I had pretty much moved out, but look at all the crap that's still here. And then look at all the tidying I still have to do. I feel like that's about where she's at. All of her furniture is moved out. All of her emotional connection to this person has mostly been moved out, but there's a lot of residual stuff. She hasn't scrubbed the place down and vacuumed out her heart yet. She is mostly healed, but there's just a little finishing touch. So is this something just for her to do, or is there any finishing closure that she needs to have with him? King of Coins. The universe is saying one of two things. Either she just simply needs to let herself meet a new person and that will be the final wrap up. Maybe like in this analogy we were using, let's say when you get the keys to your new place and you know that for the final time you're driving away from your old place, that's the day you know you're really done, right? And I'm wondering if the universe is saying symbolically, when she can picture a different lover calling her honey, that's the day she'll really be complete. Or 7 of Coins. No, it's just that she's in between. She's already left this connection. What feels incomplete is that she hasn't met somebody new yet. She hasn't met a new lover. She hasn't had somebody else call her honey. And so the universe is like, right now you're still sleeping alone. And that 7 of Coins says, that's a good thing though. You know, cleanse your energy first. The reason though somebody else is still on your mind, even though you've already forgiven them, you don't need another resolution. You don't want them back. Not really. You don't have more story with them, but you haven't met your new honey yet. But it's good to sleep alone for a bit first. You know, that's an important process. You know, 7 of Coins is always like, it's when something is growing and then going to blossom. And it's like, we kind of have to maybe blossom into the new person that we are after we've had an experience with someone else, because they do change us, you know, and ending something with somebody, that's a whole nother thing that changes us. And then we evolve into the person that we're going to be without them. And now we're ready as that new individual to meet a new lover. And I kind of feel like that's what the universe is trying to point out to her. The only reason it still feels a little weird is because you haven't met the new person whose voice is going to be calling you honey. She may be, the universe says she got something great up ahead. I personally, this is a very hot outfit. I'm a big fan of mariachi outfits. It's one of my faves. So I think that he looks fly. So I don't know, maybe there's going to be somebody that in particular, is like from Latin America or Mexico. Perhaps this could also be like Spain. Maybe this is more like a bullfighter's costume. I'm not into bullfighting. I think that's a terrible thing, but I do love their outfits. But I look at that more as like a mariachi. Also, I love mariachi music. So, but there could be somebody really wonderful up ahead for her. She just hasn't met that person yet. They could be bilingual, trilingual. They could be somebody who hails from her culture or a different culture, whatever it is. We do have a Latin influence. And so I'm hearing all kinds of beautiful Latin music. Actually, I'm hearing Thalia right now, Amor a la Mexicana. Love that song. It's like, oh, I got to listen to that now. I used to listen to it on repeat so much. And like probably when I was about, I don't know, in my 20s, but I haven't heard it in years now. And so I'm going to have to go back and listen to that now. That'll be my like final song before bed or something, or my pump up music tomorrow. We have the Lovers. Yeah, it's that simple. The only reason this feels weird to her on the 5th, the only reason she's questioning what is not finished, I don't think it's that I'm supposed to go back to the ex. I don't think that's what I would choose. But what is it that feels like if they said sorry to me, I really don't think that I want to hear that. And it's not necessarily that I'm still heartbroken, because I've pretty much healed from it, but something's not done yet. And the universe is like, it's because you just haven't met your new lover yet. And when you do, that's when you'll realize that you really are done with the ex. It's just because she's still single. In this story, she, he, it does not matter. So this could bode very well, perhaps, as we get into the year of the fire horse. So maybe by February, she will be meeting her next person. And maybe this is just a little heads up that, there's somebody else coming in next. Angie Leo Queen, you sweetheart. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. Annette, so good to see you. You guys are so lovely. Ingrid Butterfly, nice to see you. Belle's single mom. Hi, babe. You guys are so lovely. Demania, nice to see you again tonight. I'll say hi properly at the end. 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. Yeah, the most important thing right now is for her to not get up in her head between now and meeting that next person. Because like I said, February 17th is when we have the year of the fire horse begin. And we'll do a celebration on my channel to bring in the Chinese New Year for sure. Because I found a cool horse shirt. So, if we can dress for a party, we're hosting one on my channel. No, but this, excuse me, this says between like now and into February, if she's like, okay, so I'm solo, I'm doing my thing, but she looks kind of worried. This bunny has like some frown marks around their eyes. And then it's like, so I'm single, but what if there isn't anybody else to meet? Or, what if I feel like I slide backwards and I start to get stuck? And this storyline is like, no. The universe already gave the big old decree. So there's no point in, stressing out. Like this says being solo for a period of time is important before getting into the next connection, but not to be fretting or worrying or even setting a specific time. Like maybe she would meet somebody sooner. Cool. Be open to that. On the other hand, maybe it takes longer. Be open to that. But I think she's got to like drop stress surrounding this. And maybe that's what this message is. I mean, it seems like, oh, wow, February is a long way off. No, days pass like minutes, if she's fretting about anything, this message is like, drop the worries, but also don't set timelines on things because could be sooner, could be later, but be open. And I think that's what she's like struggling to say, oh my God. Okay, so don't get stuck on any outcome. Nope, just trust that whatever is in the greatest and highest good. But in order to do that, with that tower, it says, kind of like just drop the expectation of it having to look a certain way or happen during a specific time. We have a Queen of Pentacles. I mean, maybe during our next full moon, though, there's going to be a particular moment of breakthrough. We just came through a really big super moon on the 3rd, right? Our first full moon, which was the wolf moon. And so maybe by February's full moon, which again will be kind of early on in the month of February, perhaps that's when this next thing occurs. Ace of Cups. Something special. I can't wait to like jump ahead and see what happens during February's full moon. I almost feel like we need to do a little adjunct message for that. Or like link this story to that one for February's full moon and see what happens. Because I don't usually tell stories that have timelines, but now we have like specific dates in mind. I'd have to look up what the actual date is for February's full moon, but I feel like we should do like some special like follow-up story or something to this, because that or one for February the 17th for the year of the fire horse to begin. But this looks like we're getting 2 different dates or timelines that could be significant for her. I'm excited to see what comes later, but universe, can we go back to you and just say, is there something specific around the full moon in February for her? Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's a day she's going to be looking really good. There could be something, I don't know if she's going to be wearing a piece of like agate jewelry or something, but she could be very like centered. In her instinct, her gut intuition could be off the charts. She could be receiving some kind of an award, or people could be like turning and noticing her. She may be wearing reds, deep blue and red, and maybe some unique color tones that like really highlight her, and make her look like quite the fashion plate. But we have all these other lights, which to me would represent the flames of other, human beings. And yet she's kind of standing up front and center. I'm not saying she was craving center attention, but it does appear that she is going to be very much front and center. Oh, RT, thank you so much. And sweet, thank you guys. Okay, so February 1st will be the February full moon. Thank you, Robert Taylor. All right, so February 1st and February 17th could be important dates for this particular character. So just heads up. But on February 1st, then, during that first full moon, she may be looking really, really good, and she may be noticed by more than one individual. This could be a day where she goes viral for something wonderful. So mind your P's and Q's if you're going to be out in public and, someone's going to be filming or noticing you doing something, go viral for something amazing instead of, being captured for your one worst moment or like one personal, whatever slip or trip or fall or, meltdown moment. I don't see that even a mild concern for her. It looks like she'll be recognized for something beautiful, but she could literally be very visible to like millions of people for all I know. So this could be a day that's also important simply because she could be a Queen of Pentacles, but other people are looking at her like a Queen of Wands, like, she's really fly, she's really hot. Him, her, it doesn't matter. I feel like her attractiveness and her self-possessedness is going to capture the attention of individuals. That is the day her fortune turns. That is the day that either maybe whoever that is that, King of Pentacles comes seeking her. I mean, we did have her as the Queen of Pentacles, and the universe said she just hasn't met the person who's going to call her honey. Actually, I'm hearing Candy Stanton. He called me baby, baby all night long. He used to hold and kiss me until the dawn. Now, that's a song about when somebody's no longer with you. But the way she sings it is just like, oh, it's so velvet. Her voice is so amazing. She did a great, well, I guess they sampled her in Eskimo, I think covered it. Eskimo? Snow Patrol? Eskimo. But yeah, he called me baby, baby all night long. Anyway, the song just comes to mind because it's a slow, easy, sexy song. But somebody's going to call her baby. And I feel like this could be the day that somebody either like notices her, latches onto her, but it may be more than one person. So just a heads up. Look nice on February 1st. Know that you're powerful on February 1st in particular. And this kind of looks like this is the day that like the wheel of fortune turns in her favor. It's funny because we've been talking about, the Chinese New Year coming up, and this is a decidedly, Chinese inspired looking, like kind of turquoise or jade dragon. So I would just say that there's something very special that is coming up for this particular character. We rarely get messages that are like exciting for something in the upcoming future, but that one turned out that way. All right, I'm going to bounce out of here. If I let this video get any longer, we will not get a chance to have this video finished processing, which has been happening a lot again. So I'm going to bounce out. I will do a little link there in the description box for a birthday that is for the 5th, though. Lots of love, you guys. Thank you, everyone. It's so nice to see you. And thank you guys for such lovely energy in the chat. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, bye for right now.